All right, what's up, world? Wake y'all asses up. This is another episode of King of the Berries podcast. Coming back to y'all, and today's topic that I will be discussing with y'all is creativity and imagination. And how I came up with this topic is because sitting down, I have a 6-year-old daughter. She'll be turning 7 in January. And to hear some of the ideas and her thoughts and just her creativity, it just always amazes me all the time. Like the ideas and things that she comes up with. And like she wants to be the female president. She wants to be a chef that fly like around the world, serving up food to people. She said she got a real big thing for helping the homeless. It's just amazing to hear the thoughts and the ideas that come out of her head. And I try my best as a parent to foster those ideas, to instill that belief in her that she can do anything she puts her mind to, as long as she believes in it, And it just had me thinking back on my life and like, why as adults do our creativity and our imagination dissipate? And I remember Kanye said a line that was like, geniuses are kids with great parents. And that, he said like his mom always fostered, his beliefs and dreams and things like that. And I'm lucky to have parents, even though they was tough on me, they still let me know like I could accomplish whatever I want to accomplish. In particular, my dad. My dad always been the type, if I came to him with like an idea, he'd be like, well, yo, go ahead and do it. You know what you need to do, get the job done. And so like, I'm just lucky to have parents like that allow me to go ahead and go out and try to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, and to have the imagination and the thoughts and the things that I want to do that the average person, I feel like, doesn't think about even attempting or trying. And another reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I remember I flew to South Carolina to meet with my now ex-girlfriend, but my girlfriend at the time went to go visit her in South Carolina. She was down there for a little bit. And when I left her, I had to take a plane from South Carolina to Charlotte, North Carolina, then from Charlotte, North Carolina to Richmond, Virginia, back to where I'm located at. And man, when I was flying over South Carolina, taking off, I'm looking out the window and I'm looking at the city, and when you high up in the plane, all you see is just a bunch of lights and you just see landform. And I was just looking over everything and I'm like, yo, I'm doing the impossible. I'm doing the impossible. What I'm talking to you right now, whoever's listening to this, whether you listening to it through your phone, whether you watching it on your phone, your laptop, your iPad, all of these things, this 100 years would have been considered impossible. Who declares what's possible and what's not possible, man? You know what I'm saying? Every time we just have people going into outer space like it ain't nothing now. And 50 years ago, 80 years ago, that would have been considered impossible, man. Why do we keep putting these limited thoughts on ourselves? Why do we continuously hold ourselves back with our thought process just because we live in quote unquote reality? This reality seemed impossible 100 years ago, to have these type of cars that drive itself. We got cars that drive themselves now. Like legit, you ain't gotta worry about parallel parking no more. I know some of y'all out there got a tough time parallel parking. You ain't even got parallel park no more. The car does it for you. Yo, we live in a world of impossible. And yet I keep hearing people say, oh, this can't be done or that can't be done. Oh, you can't do anything without money. You can't do anything without power or this or that. When there's countless times in history of people that didn't have power rising to power, people that didn't have money accumulating large sums of money. We live in a world of money. It was a world without money before that was thriving and prosperous. Yeah, the impossible has continuously been done over and over and over and over again. And the main thing I want to talk to is my adults out here that got children, young children, teenagers that's watching. Yo, like, we gotta foster this creativity in our kids, man. We gotta foster their passion, and they could get paid, or they can become successful doing what they really love to do. The faster you can help them figure out what they passionate about and encourage them along that line, the faster they can grow with that passion and become the best at what they do. It's a young kid, man. I don't know his name, but I've been keeping up with him. I think he got the clothing line Spurgo, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the name of the clothing line. Dude is, I think, like, I don't even think he's 15 yet, and like a millionaire. Retired his mom off of starting a clothing line when he was like 10 or 11. He was passionate about it. He loved doing it, and he hustled, and his mom supported him in it. I think he started off with like $100 and got like 5 shirts and just constantly just flipped it. Flip. And now, man, he retired his mom. Look what encouraging your children and fostering their passion and things like that, and they could blow up, and then they want to take care of the person that encouraged them, their biggest support system, their parents. You know what I'm saying? Their friends, whoever. Yo, it's possible. I had, and my daughter does a lemonade stand. Because it's wintertime, she kind of fell away from that. But we got other things we working on that she's passionate about, that she wants to do, that I encourage her to do and help her develop it. You know what I'm saying? Help her, guide her along the way. But it's her thing, and that's her baby. The tea stand that she has, and then the other stuff we got in the works. But I remember I was subscribed to Entrepreneur. I know I'm plugging a lot of stuff, man, but yo, it is what it is. I was subscribed to Entrepreneur, the magazine. And in that magazine, they had like the top 15 kids under the age of 18, far as ranking like money wise or whatever. And you had people who had like cosmetic lines, clothing lines, tie. A guy had a bow tie, and I seen him on Shark Tank. Bow tie, partnered with Damon John, exploding bow tie. I want to say some type of IT stuff. Like, these is kids. These is kids, man. Kids got the best imagination, and a lot of times, I'm not gonna say a lot of times. At times, parents put our limits on our kids or on kids around us, saying, "Oh, you can't do that, or you can't do this, or you can't do that." I remember I was a song I've been listening to, another drop. Shout out Jay-Z, man. He got this song called "So Ambitious" on Blueprint 3. I've been listening to that song, and he said, what he said? He said, I remember even better what my uncle did. Put my demo tape in, started to beat my head, peeked out my eyes, see if he was beating heads. He might as well said, "Beat it, kid, he's on the list." It's like I'm searching for kicks, like a sneakerhead, gonna keep pushing me until I reach the ledge. And when I reach the ledge, I tell them all to eat it dead. Take a leap of faith and let my eagle wings spread. Yeah. And so it's like, yo, you never forget that type of stuff. Think about that. Like, Jay-Z is a multi-millionaire. And he thought back on like, yo, this time, man, I was looking for my uncle for support, and he didn't pay no attention to me. He ain't try to encourage me or nothing. Boom, it get locked in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, kids don't forget this type of stuff, man. Kids don't forget when you don't support them, and when you don't. Think about yourselves. Think about, what did you want to be when you grow up? What did you want to be? I know for me, I wanted to be a professional basketball player. Nobody, it was, I don't remember anybody in my family ever saying like, yo, you can't be a basketball player or like a plan B or anything like that. Like, I don't remember anybody. But the thing is, I didn't have the work ethic, and I didn't put the work in to get to that level, to be able to, be like an Isaiah Thomas. But most of the people would say, "Oh, you too short. You can't do this. You can't do that." You look at the Isaiah Thomases. Shout out Frank Mason from Petersburg. He got drafted and went to the league. Spud Webb, Muggsy Bogues, Allen Iverson. You got all these people 6 feet and under that would normally say, "Yo, you too small to play ball." Yogi Ferrell. All these people, they say, "Yo, you too small to play ball," but yet they somehow beat the odds. it's that belief. And I guarantee you, it was people in their corner that believed in them and that encouraged them and told them that, yo, you could get the job done, you could do it. And then that just, along with the work ethic and the consistent grind to get there, to achieve their goals, that's what they was doing, man. Shout out to dude J3, man. I played high school basketball with him. He one of the best players I ever seen in person, and he was just like that. Shorter dude. He might then make it to the NBA, but he making a great living playing ball overseas. So it's like stuff like that, man. We gotta stop putting limiting thoughts on our kids, on our children, and especially ourselves, man, and kind of tap back into our creative side. Like, that's how my podcast came about, man. I was like, man, you know what? I want to try to get my face out there, my voice out there as much as possible, and I wanted to gravitate the people it's supposed to gravitate towards. And I was like, well, dang, how do I do that? And I was listening to a podcast one day, shout out Joe Budden podcast, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Now, if people that knew me before would have known about what I was trying to do, knowing that I was a real shy kid, had a tough time communicating with people, I want the popular guy and stuff like that, they'd be like, yo, why would you do a podcast? But man, I tapped into that creativity and that imagination, and now, I don't got the most views ever, but people listening, I got a core group of people that follow me and that support me, that's like family and friends now, you know what I'm saying? So if I would have not tapped into my imagination, my creativity, I wouldn't be sitting here with y'all right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get back to becoming more creative as people and then as a nation, thinking about different ideas and different solutions to problems. We got all the answers we need to any problem: racism, the economic gap between different races or different people, medicines, cancer. We got everything we need to figure out how to eliminate all of these problems. The question is, are we creative to think of the solutions? Are we creative enough to think of the solutions? And then when somebody come up with a solution, do you put a limiting thought on that solution and say, yo, that's not possible? That's what it comes down to, man. It's all about up here, man. Like, all about up here. Sometimes I feel like we focus too much on like we focus too much on the problem instead of what's causing the problem. So, like I said, we focus too much on like the wage gap or racism and things like that we don't really focus on what created these issues. What's the real cause? Not just the surface level. Let's dig deeper. What's the real cause? And then let's be creative and figure out how can we create solutions to the core root of the issue. And then once we solve that, all these other problems will start to fade away. It won't be any issues. But the thing is, man, the limiting beliefs, we're not creative when we don't use our imagination enough now. And this, I know it sounds funny to say that with all the technology and things we got going on, but we got all this technology, we got all of these great resources, but yet it still got the super poor and the super wealthy. It's gaps there. We still got issues between men and women. We still got that. You know what I'm saying? We still got these main core issues that, even though all this technology, we're not really solving some core problems that if we use our creativity and our imagination and come together and be open-minded, we might can make some real differences in societies and things like that. So I just really wanted to kind of touch on the creativity and the imagination, man. The main thing is, look, man, let your kids be kids. Don't put your limiting thoughts on what they can or can't do. Like, let them figure it out for themselves. Let them figure out their own power. Let them figure out their own strength, and let them cultivate that. And you just guide them along the way. And the other thing is, man, as adults, man, we need to tap into our imagination and our creativity to help us get to whatever level we want to get to, and also use this creativity and this imagination to solve some core real problems that might be going on out here in the world, that we can eliminate world hunger. Like I said, the tension between men and women, it seems like now, and all of these other issues, racism and gaps, all of that stuff, man, we can eliminate. Just a little creativity coming together, and then realizing that the impossible can be possible. So on that note, man, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode of King of DeBerry's podcast. Peace.